melody, female rock star. I'ma live large, still have a big heart. Kill 'em with this flow, so I'ma go
like a pro. Judo when I'm low, ghetto when I'm mad. Add and subtract, can you do the math?
racks on racks on racks on racks. Gaining knowledge to the max. Ain't got time for chitty chats. Gotta make these steady stats. That's a fact. I believe, slip to the angle. Don't bother me, I pull out her angle. Don't wash your sneeze, you miss us in the peephole.
Alright, yo, hold up. Before we start the show, hold up, we on? Yeah. Before we start the show, alright, the right way, I gotta say happy birthday to my boy, Mr. Soaking in the Grind. My boy, Davon, turned 23 today, so I want to show him some love on my radio show. He was part of that Kurt Angle song, The Kid from the Galaxy, the far, far away. That was my boy Soaking in the Grind. But we gotta start this the right way. Hey!
Squad. Cash flow, RNC. Cash flow, RNC. Cash flow, RNC. Cash flow, RNC.
How about that dollar,
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 flow,
RNC. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. I'm a big deal. You other dudes are small time. I'm about my racks, I'm about my stacks, yes, I'm about mine. You suckers ain't getting none. You suckers just better run. See my money wait a time. My team already won. Get up out my way and delay. See, we don't play, we scared it straight. Cause you know we stay that paper chase. Stack dollars till the sky is great. There's haters hate. We fly to 8. Get around my waist. Cause we so great. Waiting for my fall. You gonna wait a while. Be the king of the game. In that ghetto strong style. Say you waiting for my fall. You gonna wait a while. Be the king of the game. In that ghetto strong style. How about that dollar. How about that dollar. How about that dollar. How about that dollar. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Cause if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. I'm filthy rich. Ooh, I love this money. I could probably buy you out or pay someone to screw you. Best believe you don't want problems. Ooh, I bet I'll something, put a price up on your head. Then I push you in my wallet. So watch it, don't start it. Don't come around with that nonsense. I'll take you out of that garbage. Hit your face with that drop. You nothing. Boy, stay in your lane. Then you going for $1,000. I'ma smack you till you change.
Y'all already know the vibes, man. It's Friday here at WEMS Radio from 5 to 6. It's your boy, the Wildkat, J-Tron. I'm saying this, I got the mic right here, but the mic is really right here in front of me. But you already know, y'all already know the vibes. Right? Y'all want to call in, okay? Don't be scared. The number is 347-422-7289. One more time, 347-422-7289. All right. So, we have a lot to go over, and today, my notes is on my phone, so if I'm looking like this, my joints is right here. I don't have my notepad with me. But anyway, wait, hold up. Let me take off this jacket. It's hotter than a monkey's ass in Africa in this damn station. Hold up. Shit. Okay. Woo! Okay, I'm a little hot. But anyway, so we got a lot to discuss, to go over a lot concerning the whole coronavirus that's going on around in the world, that's scaring the hell out of people. A lot of people's got it. A lot of sporting companies like NBA, all them XFL, all these things have shut down for the coronavirus. WrestleMania has been up in the air. We're going to get into that very shortly. But we got to answer to the whole WrestleMania debacle, whether it's canceled as of right now or whether it's still going on. But let's start off with AEW. AEW. This is the crazy thing is, for the past few weeks, everybody knows I was very hard on AEW. All right, was very hard on AEW, and that's because I felt like AEW in the beginning they started out hot, but right around Survivor Series time they started to go down. But in these last few weeks, I'm loving what I'm seeing with AEW. They've been bringing it for me. WWE makes me depressed sometimes when it comes to wrestling. But then we have AEW that's doing something right. But don't get it twisted. Just because I'm saying this stuff right now doesn't label me an AEW dick rider, because that shit ain't me. That will never be me, okay? My thing is like this. They're doing something well, though, right? They're actually putting care into their product, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm just loving it. It is just so awesome that we have a company that cares about what the fans think, the fans' opinions, and it's great to see. I mean, I didn't watch the show in its entirety this Wednesday because I was out, but from what I did see, I seen the clips of multiple videos on YouTube, so I got a gist of what happened. I seen a whole bunch of videos on IG, so I got to see what happened on the show. A lot of stuff, man. It was some good stuff that went on. The thing that was concerning a lot of people with the whole coronavirus thing that's going around, and a lot of sporting events, a lot of events that hold a lot, like 500 plus people. I think is that the rule in New York or everywhere? But anyway, any place that holds a large number of people, they're starting to relocate these events to like smaller venues where not a lot of people is going to be able to be let in, or they're just postponing, or they're just canceling them. But AEW has a show. They had a show next week that was supposed to be I can speak. They had a show that was scheduled for Rochester, New York next week. And that's when Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brody Lee, was supposed to debut. But they moved that event to the Jacksonville location with a strict attendance policy. So this whole coronavirus thing that's going around is really shaking the pro wrestling world upside down, because a lot of people's buying tickets to these events. And the Rochester event, and I do believe the event after that, was two big AEW events that people was looking forward to, because the following week after that is when they do Blood and Guts, a.k.a. the War Games match. And then we're going to have the Inner Circle versus the Elite, which is looking to be a great, phenomenal match. Like, I can't wait to see that, what happens with that. But they have moved the Rochester event to Jacksonville to take, certain precautions when it comes to this whole coronavirus thing. I don't know what to believe with this whole coronavirus. I just don't know. But I will say one thing, unwrestling related, with this whole coronavirus. The media is making it bigger than what it seems, because yes, it's a virus that has killed people. But this thing, they're talking so much about how many people has been infected and killed, but they have not talked about how many people has been cured. Because there's been a lot of people that has recovered from the coronavirus, but the media isn't telling you that. The media is not letting y'all know that it is a serious thing, but it's not that serious. We're gonna be A-okay. If you get it, it is not the end of the world. You can recover from it. It is not the end of the world. So just don't be scared. Just continue living your life. Just wash your hands. Just take, certain precautions. If you get it, just go to the doctor. Get treated for it. You can get cured. It's not a guarantee you're gonna die. Okay? So all people that's scared with the coronavirus, just live your life, man. Just don't live in fear. So back to the wrestling stuff. The Inner Circle versus the Elite in a Blood and Guts match. Now this, I'm kind of intrigued for. I want to see this because, we got Cody and we got Jericho, we got Kenny Omega, we got the Bucks, we have Hangman, we got Hagar, we got Sammy Guevara. We got a lot of good talent that's in this match. So, and then we have the certain side stories that's going on. We have Moxley, who wasn't cleared after the whole powerbomb incident last week, and then we also have the thing with Hangman Page and his Elite brothers. When is Hangman gonna turn? When is this big turn gonna happen? We don't know, but it can happen during the match. How is Moxley gonna play a factor into this? But this match right here, the Elite and the Inner Circle, this is something that I really want to see. This is something that I'm really into. So I'm kind of excited for this. But the question is, are they going to have this in New Jersey at the Prudential Center? I do believe, yeah, it was supposed to be at the Prudential Center. Are they going to have it at the Prudential Center? Or will it be moved to another location? Will it be moved to a smaller venue like the Jacksonville location? But we shall see. But this particular match and what they did on AEW this week, Dynamite, it was good because they had the inner circle jump. Was it Nick Jackson? Nick Jackson. They took him out, and you know, they sent him to the hospital. They had you know, they had Cody, you had Brandy, you had Arn Anderson, all of them trying to rush to you know, visit Nick in the hospital. So it was great storytelling what they're doing to like build up to this match. You know, we got Personal in there. They jumped them backstage. That's family. The Elite is more than a brotherhood. They're like a family. So it's cool to see all the pieces, like all the great storytelling that they got going on in AEW. It's great, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm glad that AEW is turning the momentum around because we got something on mainstream television that's good when it comes to wrestling. So I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm seeing when it comes to AEW. But this Blood and Guts match, I don't know who's going to win. I'm pulling for the Elite, but if the Inner Circle wins, I'm not going to be sweating it because I love both teams. So, Christopher Daniels had a great segment this week, and he had this whole beef with the Inner Circle for the past, for like months now. And the Inner Circle's been trying to recruit Christopher Daniels, and then there's people believing that, is Christopher Daniels really working with, what, did I say Inner Circle? The Dark Order, wow. The Dark Order. The Dark Order's been trying to recruit Christopher Daniels, but, you know, Christopher Daniels has been denied. He's played, he's come out in the robe. I think he did that at Revolution. He came out in the whole robe thing, and he was covered, and he was, what was it? He made it seem like he was a part of them, but then, like, he just, you know, he wasn't. He fooled them. But they're supposed to reveal who the exiled one is. Now, I don't think it's Christopher Daniels, but it could be Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper, because he's supposed to be debuting next week, or it could be Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's been doing a lot of great stuff on his YouTube account with the Young Bucks, or the Bucks of Youth, and they've been building towards this AEW thing. Now, Matt Hardy is going to be in AEW. AEW will be... They will be idiots if they let Matt Hardy slip through their fingertips. But it's kind of like people already figured that he's already signed with AEW, but they haven't fully come out with it yet. But I just hope we see Matt Hardy soon in AEW and him used right. That broken gimmick, something special. So another thing, Matt Jackson, okay, listen, I was talking about all the great things that happened with in AEW. Okay, so Matt Jackson, he kind of, okay, he helps out Hangman Page this week, right? Because Hangman was about to get triple powerbomb off the stage like how Moxley did, but then Matt Jackson had came out he took out the entire Inner Circle by himself. He beat up everybody. He even double speared, was it the LAX? That's what called EYFBO, Santana and Ortiz. Double speared them. And it's just like, wait a minute, this little dude is, what? What is going on? I do believe it was Santana and Ortiz, don't quote me on it. But he took out two people by himself with a spear, and it's just like, this little dude, what? But I don't know, he was fired up, but that was hard for me to believe because of, you know, Matt Jackson just taking out the entire Inner Circle by himself. That was a little unbelievable to me, but it was still a great moment. But for me, it was kind of for me to like suspend my disbelief when it came to that. Another thing with the women I wanted to touch on. The Big Swole is looking like she's heading into a rivalry with Britt Baker. And you know, Britt Baker for the past few weeks has been you know, teasing Tony Schiavone about working at Starbucks and calling Mr. Starbucks. Now finally we got a feud between two people, between two people that I'm kind of liking. Like, I like Britt Baker a little bit, but I was kind of waiting for when she could get into a decent storyline. And then we got Big Swole, who I'm starting to grow on. You know, Big Swole is married to Cedric Alexander, who's in WWE, and Britt Baker is dating Adam Cole, baby. And they kind of teased it a little bit. They kind of mentioned them. They didn't mention them by name, but Britt Baker has said, like, you're only relevant because of your boyfriend. And then Big Swole was like, well, I'm married, baby. So they kind of threw shots at each other's boyfriends and whatever. It was it was kind of a cool segment. You know, usually I don't really like the digs at WWE that they're doing, but this one, I was kind of into it. It kind of made things a little personal between the two, but right after that, Britt Baker threw the hot coffee in Big Swole's face. So next week, I'm kind of hoping that we see more from these two. Maybe somebody has a match, somebody interfered. Maybe we see a one-on-one match. We don't know. But this Big Swole Britt Baker thing, this is something I can get behind. So AEW is doing something great. It's getting me intrigued into the product. I am liking it more and more each week. I'm not an AEW dick rider, but I'm a fan of pro wrestling at the end of the day. And WWE to me is just not. I will always love the WWE. The WWE will always be my favorite company ever. Like, I'm WWE to the day I die. But what they're doing right now, I'm just not loving the product. And speaking about WWE, hold up. Before I get into that, you know, your boy got to sip a little Dunkin' Donut. A little parched, a little thirsty. That Dunkin' Donut just woke your boy up. But anyway, right? You know what? Before we go into the rest of the WWE stuff, before I forget, we had Elimination Chamber that just happened this past Sunday, and I witnessed the worst Elimination Chamber match in history. You know? Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, my boy Foley. Shout out to my boy Foley. You already know, man. You're 5 times, boy. Foley! We gotta get you on, man. We gotta get you on. But anyway, Elimination Chamber Fallout, right? So I witnessed the worst Elimination Chamber in history, like dead serious, because the whole main event. Okay, that match should have been more in the beginning, and I felt like if they wanted to end with an Elimination Chamber match, they should have used the tag team one because that was the better chamber match. Had a great ending between them Thuggles or Jimmy Thug, Uche Thug, Oos. You know, my family right here repping it, repping it strong right here. But back to the women's, right? Because I want to talk about that tag team match in a little bit. But the women's, right? They had Shayna Baszler take out everybody, right? Slowly, like she just took out everybody, and it's just like that did nothing for me. That did absolutely nothing for me. They made Asuka look like a joke. I mean, I didn't really care too much about. Natty. The Riot Squad. What was it? The Riot Squad, Natty, and Asuka. I think this is honestly the weakest looking Elimination Chamber match I've ever seen. And it was the worst Elimination Chamber match I've ever seen. Because it was just Shayna Baszler. It wasn't how excited how Braun Strowman was eliminating people. Like, it was, like, Shayna Baszler, man, she just doesn't really do it for me. I'm not saying that she's a bad wrestler or nothing like that. Maybe I will slowly grow on Shayna Baszler as the years go on, but right now, she doesn't do anything for me because I've seen enough of Shayna Baszler when she was in NXT. And I don't understand why people have this hard on for her becoming the next Raw Women's Champion. And her taking the belt from Becky. I don't understand it. Yes, okay, Becky's character has been tweaked a little bit this past lately. I can speak. But the fact of the matter is we just came from a Shayna Baszler title run. Long title run in NXT. I can't take another Shayna Baszler title run. I don't get it. And it's rumored that Becky and Seth are supposed to be taking time off after WrestleMania. So a lot of people's thinking that Becky's going to drop the title to Shayna. I'm just praying that Becky is going to retain. I assume that Becky is going to retain. That's what I feel. But I don't know, man. This is just I don't know. This Elimination Chamber match was a disgrace. The opening match was one of the best matches of the night. We had Drew Gulak versus Daniel Bryan in a great wrestling match. Two great wrestlers just telling a great wrestling story. You know, we had Gulak coming in there saying that Daniel Bryan, you're a great wrestler, but you have holes in your arsenal. You're not the same person that how you used to. You have weaknesses, and I'm gonna exploit them. So Gulak and Daniel Bryan told a great story because Gulak did show some weaknesses in Daniel Bryan. He took Daniel Bryan to the limit, pushed him. And then there was points during the match where Daniel Bryan was rolling. He rolled underneath the ring, and he went outside. He did something that heels did. He kind of ran away a little bit. And he was like thinking like, okay, how am I going to do this? But Gulak was just like, get in there, Daniel. I'm going to continue to exploit your weaknesses. And they just told a great story in there, man. It was so great, man. I loved it. I do see WWE doing this match again on SmackDown or like next week or whatever, because you know WWE hears good ratings about a match, they'll exploit this match over and over like they did with Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. I think we saw that match like 3 or 4 times on Monday Night Raw. They went one-on-one, and yes, they worked well together, but it's just like, you don't have to just build to the next one. You don't have to throw it on SmackDown right away. You can build to a rematch. Hell, I don't think Daniel Bryan has anything set for Mania. So you can build maybe like a 2 out of 3 falls Drew Gulak Daniel Bryan match. That would be a great wrestling match. So we shall see. And another thing, so I'm going to talk about the tag team elimination chamber match with my family. Jimmy Thug, Uche Thug, Uche Day One, Ish, that is me. They was the last 2 teams, and like I predicted in the last show, I said that the elimination chamber tag team match was going to be the last 2 teams was going to be Miz and Morrison and Usos. That's what I felt, and I felt like Miz and Morrison was going to somehow retain. But I do see the Usos somehow, some way getting those titles, maybe at Mania. I will go crazy. You already know, man. I gotta rep my fam. The fam is getting those titles back soon, and you know the WWE's not gonna contain themselves because they want to see the Usos versus the New Day one more time for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. But that match was great. You had Lindsay Dorado flying from top of the cage, crashing down on people. It was great. Like, the only thing though is just that you see what a fall from grace Kofi Kingston. Like, I don't want to say like he's doing like dramatically bad, but you remember last year at Elimination Chamber, it was the rise of Kofi Mania, and we was all getting behind him. It was Kofi Kingston in the Elimination Chamber one-on-one with Daniel Bryan, and we thought Kofi Kingston was gonna win the Elimination Chamber. He got this close to winning, and then that's when the whole Kofi Mania thing started. But the thing is, just he went from that last year to competing back where he was, back in the tag team, you know, for the tag team championships. But hopefully down the road, like, because I want to see Big E get his singles run, and I do want to see I want to see Kofi Kingston get his singles run as well. Because I think these are 2 talented guys that are being held back by the New Day tag team. Yes, it's a great tag team, but it is time to see these men shine on its own. Kofi Kingston has shown he can go on his own. He can go on his own. And a lot of people hated on his title run. Now, there was some holes in his title run that I didn't like the whole pancakes thing. Him stuffing pancakes in between titles and stuff. Like, I was not a fan of that. But, you know, maybe later down the road, I don't think I don't know. I don't want to say never, but I don't. As of right now, I don't see Kofi Kingston touching that World Championship anytime soon. That was lightning in the bottle last year. We don't know if we're going to see Kofi Mania again. Trust me, I'll be all for it. But I want to see Big E. Big E get that singles run, man. Big E. But Elimination Chamber, those are like 3 matches that I want to discuss. Because those things that really stood out to me. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn finally became a singles champion on the main roster. It took him, I believe, WWE had the statistics up on the IG account. Over 1,000 days since he debuted on the main roster. It took him, I think he debuted like in 2015. Yeah, this is 2020, and so yeah, that's well over 1,000 days. But a lot of people have been dying to see Sami Zayn become a champion. Sami Zayn is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but you wouldn't know that from WWE because of how they booked him. You know, they make Sami Zayn look like a chump. Sami Zayn can put on a 5-star match if you wanted him to. In my opinion, I think Sami Zayn, although he plays a great heel, plays the great annoying heel, he's a better babyface. I love Sami Zayn as a babyface. I prefer him that way, but he does play a good heel. But Sami Zayn is that guy that you just want to naturally get behind and just root for, man. The underdog from the underground. Like, the way that he was at NXT, the heart and soul of NXT, that is the Sami Zayn that everybody loves. Now, if that Sami Zayn won the IC Championship after all this time, it would have been a way, way bigger celebration. But, you know, heel or face, we're all happy for Sami Zayn because this is well long overdue, him getting a singles championship. So, congratulations to Sami Zayn. Now, he did win it in questionable circumstances, but, you know, although I wanted to see Braun Strowman versus Sheamus at WrestleMania for the IC title. That's the match that I still kind of want to see. I'm still happy for Sami Zayn, so I'm not gonna really hate on this way too much. But I do eventually want to see Sheamus versus a Braun Strowman for the IC title, maybe after Mania, because I don't even know what Sheamus fits in WrestleMania plans as well. And there's rumors going around that them saying that they might put Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus again at WrestleMania. It's just like, we've been there, done that. We don't want to see that no more. So like, we gotta do something to make it. We need something more fresh for these superstars. So shall see when it comes to that. But congratulations once again to Sami Zayn. Now WrestleMania season. I'll just get to the elephant in the room when it comes to this whole WrestleMania thing. Is it canceled? Is it not canceled? But as of right now, as of the recording of this show, WrestleMania is not canceled. It's not postponed. WWE's not being forced to cancel the show as of now. But if the coronavirus gets worse, maybe they'll have to postpone it, do something. But the real question is, if WrestleMania does get canceled, what happens next? All these matches that are booked. It sucks for a person like Drew McIntyre who bust his ass to get back to WWE, win a big match like the Royal Rumble, get in the main event of WrestleMania, and now WrestleMania can get canceled. I'll be upset if I was Drew. Because, Drew fought. He had to go to the Indies. He had to really start from scratch, rechange himself, come back, go to Impact, make a name for himself, go to NXT, get drafted to Raw, deal with shit on the main roster, and then turn babyface and then get treated right. So, I kind of feel for Drew. I'm kind of hoping that Drew can still get his WrestleMania moment in that main event. But as of right now, WrestleMania is not canceled. It's not postponed. So that's a good thing. And hopefully, it does not. Even though I think this is one of the most shittiest WrestleMania built. There's a lot of people that deserve their WrestleMania moments, like a Drew McIntyre. So we shall see when it comes to that. But right now, WrestleMania is not canceled. Another thing, Ricochet. The burial of Ricochet. Like, this... Oh, yeah, shout out to my man, D. Wise Guy from the Comedian Catch, man. Tune in to his show from 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursday nights. Funny as hell. He had Chiseled Adonis, and he had two other funny comedians on his show yesterday. Like, crazy show. Go rewatch it if you missed it. But anyway, this is the government trying to control us. You're damn right it is. And they might turn my shit off because of this, because I'm saying certain words. But yes, this is it. This is it. They're trying to distract us from other things that's going on right now. And the coronavirus you can get cured from it. So, but anyway, back to the burial of Ricochet. It just gets worse and worse, man. It just gets worse and worse because last week he loses to Rick Moss in a 24/7 title match clean. He loses clean. Clean as a whistle. And we figured that, okay, maybe this is a storyline of Ricochet, starting to doubt himself a little bit, and I don't know. A lot of people was thinking that maybe it was like another storyline, but this wasn't the case. Ricochet was on Main Event. He was on Main Event this week, and he was fighting Eric Young, I do believe. Ricochet, 2 weeks ago, this man was in Saudi Arabia fighting for the WWE title that he did get squashed by Brock, but this thing, it's mind-blowing to me because this is Ricochet. This is Ricochet. Ricochet. One of the best wrestlers, if not the most athletically gifted wrestler right now in the world. This man can do anything. He does Power Ranger stuff. Like, literally, that's not me exaggerating. Like, this man is like a human Power Ranger. But this, it just behooves me. I think it was because of, in a recent interview, he did say that he want to kind of go back to NXT. And if he did go back to NXT, Ricochet will be treated right. He'll be treated like the talent that he deserves to be. This Ricochet burial, I don't know what it is, but it's just like people have done a lot worse in that company, I don't think Ricochet has been suspended or anything. There's a lot of people that have done way worse in the WWE that has gotten things handed to them on a silver platter. But you got somebody like Ricochet who can put on a 5-star classic, who is athletically gifted. The one problem with Ricochet is that he's not the best on the mic. Okay, but the thing is, it's Ricochet, man. This man should have been a multiple-time United States or Intercontinental Champion. Hell, maybe won the tag team titles at least once. Man, stuff like that just. And speaking of Riddick Moss, this 24/7. Is anybody just wondering this Riddick Moss thing, right? Do y'all think this push was? I think this push was for Mojo Rawley. What the hell happened to Mojo? What happened to my guy Mojo? Everybody knows I love Mojo Rawley, and I know this. Hey, that's a sin. You can't love Mojo Rawley. He's a better, but I love Mojo Rawley. Okay, he's entertaining to me, and sometimes you don't have to be the best wrestler for me, but for me, Mojo, he's entertaining to me. I always loved this hype gimmick. I was always a Mojo guy, but I was kind of excited when he got the 24/7 title, saying like, "Oh, this title's I'm gonna wipe the stench off of it. I'm gonna clean it." And he's talking about how he's not gonna get rolled up. You can fight me, all this stuff. You know, he had Riddick Moss to help him, like prevent him. He was the blocker. That's how Riddick Moss started. He was the blocker to prevent certain things. And it's crazy that in such a quick motion, this dude is not even in the 24/7 title pitch. He gets rolled up. The title's gone from him, and Riddick Moss is beating people clean. He's beating Ricochet clean. He beat Cedric clean this week. What the freak is going on? Riddick Moss he stole Mojo Rawley's push. I don't know what the hell is going on with my man Mojo Rawley, but I'm hearing that Gronk has signed with WWE, so maybe they'll have something where it's like Gronk will beat Riddick Moss for the 24/7 title, and then we have Mojo and Gronk. I don't know. It could be something because they could tease the thing between the two good friends. I don't know. But don't be surprised if Gronk is the one to take that title off of Riddick Moss. I'm just predicting that. This whole thing with Mojo, man. This is the one time when I felt like Mojo Rawley's getting a proper push or something like that. It's gone. It gets taken away just like that. Riddick Moss stole Mojo Rawley's push. Yo, Foley, you right about that, man. Monday Night Rawley and Cedric. Yeah, okay, Cedric wasn't that surprising, unfortunately. But Ricochet, yes. Okay, but we kind of hope and pray that Cedric gets back on track. He needs to go to AEW with his wife, Big Swole. Okay. You right. You know how Vince feels about us. You already know. AJ Styles. You know what? I'm gonna talk about the AJ Styles thing, and then AJ Styles thing. We're gonna get into a quick break. So AJ Styles, everybody knows he is in a little WrestleMania build-up with The Undertaker. Everybody knows I'm not a big fan of this match. I think this match happened several years a little too late. If WWE's trying to recreate Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, that shit is not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. It was a great promo. Great promo. AJ Styles got personal in there, bringing up The Undertaker's wife, saying that The Undertaker is not this mythical creature anymore. He's just a regular man named Mark Calloway. And then when he said Mark Calloway, it's just like, okay, now they're trying to humanize The Undertaker a little bit. What makes me think in my dome piece is The Undertaker going to return at WrestleMania as the American Badass. This is my last hope. Now, last year, I thought he was going to do it. But is this year the moment that we're going to get that? Is this the year? Well, actually, for the past 2 years, because we thought that when he fought John Cena at WrestleMania, that he was going to return as the American Badass. But, you know, AJ Styles kind of humanized The Undertaker a little bit by calling him Mark Calloway, which is The Undertaker's real name. But is The Undertaker going to return as the American Badass, or is he going to keep being the dead man? I think this is AJ versus Michelle McCool, battle of the finishers, because Michelle McCool kind of stole AJ Styles' finisher. Let's just put it like that. the battle of the finishers, man. That would be freaking amazing, yo. But yeah, so this match, I mean, if it was AJ Styles a couple years ago when he was the WWE champion, and I would prefer this to be a face versus face match, the Phenomenal One versus the Phenom. This was a couple years ago. I would maybe be more intrigued into it, but the way AJ Styles is being booked, I'm not a fan. Like, this match doesn't intrigue me at all. So I don't know, man. It was just a great promo by AJ Styles. I like that he made it personal, and yeah, you know. So I'm gonna get into a quick little break right quick because your boy got I'm a little parched, right? So I'm gonna play. What I'm gonna play right now. You know what? I'm gonna play. You know what? We gonna keep the love for my boy soaking in the green, rocking and rolling. So we gonna play "Stay" by Resounding.
Stay, stay. Can you stay with?
I can't stay.
Can you stay with?
I can't stay. I can't stay another minute. I must say no. Me and you had a good thing. We can't get back, or we just need another minute. We can't start from the beginning. You read me better than me. I hold in things I shouldn't. Confiscated myself, holding you from my wealth. Better I suffer myself than both of us. I prefer one demon at a time. Too much on my conscience, so much to handle. It was gone while it lasted. I got a purpose and I feel fantastic. Baby girl, go ahead and show your magic. Go ahead and love yourself while you at it.
Stay, baby, stay. Don't you know I love ya? Stay, baby, stay. There's no one above ya. Every night I'm thinking of ya. Don't want love from another. Why won't you just stay with me?
Back on the block, I'm chilling now. Looking at my phone and my feelings now. What you doing right now? In my head, waiting nerves to text. Just over you stressed. Know you wanna try again, but I can't take a step back. Gotta stay on track. I can't get trapped. Can't be thinking about that. Got love for you, can't give you more than that. At the end of the day, I'ma care for you. At the end of the day, I'll be here for you. We're better with friends. I hope you understand. We could party together, it'd probably be better. Friends telling me, bro, why not forget her? I've been thinking about that, but man, whatever. It's not like she was my forever. My heart says yes, but mine says no. There's a tug in my soul, which way to go? Deep down, I know I should let you go. You rushed me and made me cut the rope. At least we didn't crash and burn. We ended on good terms. So in the future, there may be.
Stay, baby, stay. Don't you know I love ya? Stay, baby, stay. There's no one above ya. Every night I'm thinking of ya. Don't want love from another. Why won't you just stay with me? Stay, baby, stay. Don't you know I love ya? Stay, baby, stay. There's no one above ya. Every night I'm thinking of ya. Don't want love from another. Why won't you just stay with me? Stay with me.
Come on, stay with me.
Stay.
Stay a little longer.
Stay. 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 Stay with me.
Just me and you.
I mean, all right. Y'all already know the vibes. It's your boy, the Wildkat, J. Troy. We back, okay? We back like we never left. So, Randy Orton and Edge, right? One of the best stories that's going on in WWE right now is the Edge and Randy Orton rivalry that's gotten personal. And this week, Edge finally returns. Edge finally gets his revenge on Randy Orton a little bit. MVP has his segment. MVP's been doing his thing. They've been using this man as a punching bag. But the crazy thing is, although I love MVP, it's great to see him. It's just great to see him in the WWE ring, just being a heel, because that's when MVP was at his best. And he's always antagonizing these superstars, saying personal things. And he was like, "Yo, Edge, how's your wife?" Edge beat the holy crap out of him, speared him, beat the crap out of him. Randy Orton comes out of nowhere, literally, and tries to attack Edge. And Edge out of nowhere hits him with the rated RKO. And out of nowhere, it was crazy. It was like a cool little thing. And like Edge, it was old school Edge, because Edge was grabbing his hair and he got that sadistic bug-eyed look. Like, he went crazy, man. And then Edge just murders MVP. Like, every time we see MVP now, it's like, the crazy thing is, like, we know MVP now, he works backstage as a producer, and you know MVP's, he's a student of the game. Like, anything that, like, he doesn't mind helping people. He doesn't mind putting over talented individuals, well, talents in general. And, you know, but MVP just gets his ass kicked again. My man Montel Bontavious Porter, everybody knows I'm MVP's guy. I love that man to death. But Edge murders MVP. Randy Orton gets away, and this storyline just gets more personal and personal. Because you remember last week, Randy Orton RKO'd the hell out of Beth Phoenix, and it got real personal. So I just can't wait to see this match at WrestleMania. The crazy thing is, I want to say Edge is gonna win at WrestleMania, but I think Randy might win. Don't be surprised if they pull the shock win at WrestleMania. It would be good to see Edge win his return match, but don't be surprised if Randy Orton wins at Mania. Because I can definitely see an RKO out of like Edge going for the spear and you can hit that RKO. Like, I can see that. Like, I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. Another thing. This is a couple stuff I'm going to probably shave off or whatever, but, okay. Drew McIntyre kills Eric Rowan's spider. Now, I am scarred, okay? There's a pet owner myself, okay? I have pets at my house. Now, I'm just trying to, now, yes, we know it's a robotic spider, but just the picture, somebody just smashing your pet now. It was a big tarantula that was supposed to be in his cage, but Drew McIntyre picks up the steps, crushes the cage, boom, and we're supposed to believe that Drew McIntyre murders this man's pet spider. Like, oh my God, PETA. PETA is, anybody from PETA, definitely flip their freaking shits with that segment on Monday Night Raw. But, oh man, I feel bad for Rowan. The Rowan character, I mean, like, he gets his ass kicked and his pet gets killed. Oh my God. So we already know that WWE's finally probably giving up on Rowan. He lost twice to Aleister Black. Now, the Aleister Black losses, it didn't really hurt him as much. But, you know, him losing to Drew, I mean, there's like 3 big losses that happened to him. So it's just like Rowan, oh man, Rowan and his spider. Now, NXT has some good things, you know. One of the things that I kind of laughed at, they had a segment with, it had Mia Yim, right? And she was in the parking lot, and I think it was Raul Mendoza. I think that was that dude, right? So I seen the clip, and I actually did rewatch the whole thing on YouTube. But I saw the clip on my IG, and I was just like, what the hell's going on? So I had rewatched the whole thing. So it looked like Mia Yim was trying her best to sell on how excited she was for her ladder match at the NXT TakeOver. You know, but out of nowhere, we see Raul Mendoza gets abducted by 2 men in lucha masks, and nobody, like, there was clearly people there. Nobody screamed for help. Nobody tried to help this guy. They just watched this man get abducted. Like, just like, hey, just your regular day in Florida, your regular day outside Full Sail, just another one gets abducted. It was just like, yo, that joint was just so funny to me, because it's like, yo, I just watched this man get abducted. But, yeah, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano had a great brawl segment. They brawled all over the Performance Center, and they brawled all over the Performance Center, and like what they went to the gym. They started out in the office area. Then they went to the gym area, do believe so. Then they came out to where the ring was at ringside, and then like they were just brawling for like a good while. And Tommaso Ciampa does his I call it white noise. He does white noise off of the platform where the commentators is at off a platform onto the commentators table. And like it was just a great brawl. And a lot of people saying in the comment section, because I was reading the comment section, they were saying like this is the modern day Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Because you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they had that love-hate relationship. One day they're good friends, they're on each other's side, and then the next day they're just brawling and they hate each other and whatever. And it was just a great brawl, man. It was just a great brawl. I'm kind of intrigued for that match. Like I said before, when I mentioned in the beginning of this rivalry, the beginning of this reignited rivalry, I do believe that they're tied, even scored. I forgot what it was. Like, how many matches apiece? I think they share the same wins. This is put it like that. So this next match is going to be the tiebreaker. But I think this should be a loser leaves NXT match. The loser goes to the main roster. Yeah, that's one hell of a fucking punishment. That is one hell of a punishment. But that was a great thing. I'm getting my match that I predicted weeks ago that I really wanted to see at the next takeover, which was Adam Cole, baby, versus the Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. This is the match that I want to see because I want Velveteen to be NXT champion. He's the next. I felt like he should have been the guy to beat Adam Cole. I said that weeks ago, but I thought that they was going to do the whole Tommaso versus Finn Balor thing. But it's looking like Finn Balor is going to be fighting Walter for the NXT UK Championship, which I don't mind. That is going to be one hell of a match. I can't wait for that match. That is going to be some good stuff. And if there's somebody that needs to stop Walter, if there's somebody that is going to stop Walter, it is Finn Balor. He's believable. You can get behind him, and he's getting more and more people behind him. He's getting way more and more people behind him. But even when Finn Balor turned heel, people were still cheering him. It's hard to root against Finn Balor. It's hard to like really boo the man because he's that damn good, you know. So Finn Balor's looking like he's fighting Walter, so that left the window open for Velveteen to fight Adam Cole, baby, for the NXT Championship, and it's looking like he's going to be the one to take that title off of Adam Cole, baby, which I want to see. Because this is long overdue, even though Velveteen Dream was the North American champion. And I was glad that he did hold that title. He needs that NXT heavyweight championship. The right man to take it off of Adam Cole is the Velveteen Dream. And I'm glad that I'm getting that match. Hold up. There was one more thing that I wanted to mention from NXT before I move on. Was that it? Oh, no, it was the Walter thing. So, yeah. So we move on to the British Bulldog. The British Bulldog, congratulations to the British Bulldog, the late British Bulldog. He is getting inducted this year into the Hall of Fame, and this is much deserving. The British Bulldog, who was a part of iconic matches back in the day. The iconic match that he had with Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. It was, this man, British Bulldog, has accomplished a lot in the wrestling business, and, a lot of people was waiting for when was the British Bulldog going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame? And there you go, people. You finally got your wish. Now, we still got to get Owen in there, but I don't think it's going to be this year. But hopefully next year, we get Owen Hart into this Hall of Fame. We got to get Owen in there. But step in the right direction. We got the British Bulldog looking like he's getting in there. And this year's Hall of Fame is looking pretty stacked. Like, it's a good Hall of Fame. We got the Bellas. We got the NWO. We got Batista. We got JBL. And now we got the British Bulldog. We got a stacked Hall of Fame, man. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see these speeches, these stories. Like, I just love it. The NWOs, man, I can't wait for that. And Batista's, I feel like Batista's got some good-ass stories, man. I can't wait for my man Batista. But, congratulations once again to the British Bulldog. So, SmackDown, just like AEW, has moved their event. Hold on, let me take a little. Piece get a little dry. Yeah, so just like AEW, actually NXT this week was at the Performance Center, so a lot of these sporting events is moving their shows to like smaller venues with strict attendance policies or like not fans at all. So don't be surprised if you start seeing shows with no fans. It's gonna look like halftime heat out there. Shout out to The Rock and Big Foley on that classic match. But SmackDown this week, it was supposed to be in Detroit, but now it's at the Performance Center. So this week's SmackDown, it should be interesting. It's gonna have a different feel to it, more closed in, intimate feel. So kind of interesting to see what they're gonna do with this environment, because I feel like they like this. Although they're moving this to the Performance Center, this should be an excuse to like try to make the show more better. Like turn this into a blessing in disguise. Because you remember when the talents were stuck in Saudi Arabia and the NXT talents had to fly out to save SmackDown. That turned out to be one of the best SmackDowns in years. Years. Like I remember watching that SmackDown, I was just like, yo, are they really doing this? And the main event was, hold up, this bad. Okay, hold up, big fella. Okay, so. That was one of the best SmackDowns in recent memory. The main event was Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan for the NXT Championship. That was a great match, great main event, great show. The NXT invasion started. Like that was just a great show. So these things that happen abruptly, just get at the Performance Center. So you're gonna have some NXT people around. So I would incorporate some people at NXT. Maybe we could get a Bianca Belair. We could get somebody from NXT to show up, but I don't know. Just utilize the Performance Center. Just have fun with this. I feel like they can, but knowing WWE, they'll probably just put on another mundane SmackDown. But with the people that's pulling up tonight, like Jeff Hardy's supposed to be returning tonight, and I'm kind of hoping that he returns with no more words, because he was on backstage a week ago, and a fan had asked him, would you bring back No More Words? And for people that don't know No More Words, that is the song, someone see the writing on the wall, the writing on the wall. Like, everybody loved, that was Jeff Hardy's best song. That was Jeff Hardy's best. Everybody, we've been waiting, since Jeff Hardy's been back, we've been waiting for him to use this song. I am hoping and praying that tonight, Jeff Hardy comes back with that song, because the Hardy Boys thing is done. Matt Hardy's looking to be in AEW, right? He's looking to be in AEW. So we don't need to continue. The Hardy Boys music is done until Matt comes back, because I do see Matt ending his career in WWE, and I don't think Jeff would move to AEW. I think this is Jeff's last contract. I think he's just gonna chill out. But anyway. Hope Jeff Hardy returns tonight with no more words, and it's kind of interesting to see who Jeff Hardy's going to be fighting going into WrestleMania season, because I don't think they would bring back Jeff Hardy weeks before WrestleMania and not inserting him into a storyline. So kind of excited to see. The Fiend, right? The Fiend and John Cena storyline is going to continue to heat up this week. John Cena is supposed to show up this week at the Performance Center for SmackDown Live, and I don't know. This is interesting. This is gonna be cool to see John Cena in that little closing, intimate Performance Center environment. So I'm kind of intrigued with what John Cena is gonna do, man. The promo that he might deliver. Maybe the Fiend is gonna show up at the Performance Center. We could do an interesting Firefly Funhouse segment. Like John Cena. Anytime you get to see John Cena back in the WWE ring these days, it's a great feeling. It is a great feeling. So, I'm kind of excited to see John Cena. And I also mentioned Paige is supposed to return. So this is the week of returns. This Friday, they stacking this SmackDown with a whole bunch of returns. And Paige is the other one. And she's supposed to be standing up to Bayley, or like calling out Bayley or whatever. So, Nia Jax is rumored to be returning. So maybe Nia Jax is the person that's going to be fighting Bayley at WrestleMania. I'm just kind of hoping that Paige is like, this is my house, and like I'm cleared, and I'm going to fight you at WrestleMania. I don't care if Paige hasn't fought in years. If Paige says I'm cleared, I want her in that title picture. Okay, yes, I'm being a little selfish, because I'm a Paige guy. I love Paige. Paige is one of my favorite women's wrestlers. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers. She's in my top 10. She's probably lower. Yeah, she's in my top 10. I love Paige. Paige is such a badass wrestler, and it just was upsetting to me to like seeing her career get cut short. Um, but I'm just hoping that one day, if it's not tonight, I mean, if Edge and Daniel Bryan can come back, Paige, she's gonna come back soon. Paige has the wrestling in her blood. She's been wrestling since she was like 13 or something like that. She has wrestling in her blood. I am praying and hoping to the man upstairs that Paige returns soon. If not tonight, some other time down the road. But if she's pulling out a client, the only people that I would like to see is, I mean, I guess Nia Jax. I mean, I wasn't the biggest Nia Jax fan, but I mean, hey, it's Nia Jax. I wouldn't mind. It's something fresh. Because if you're not putting Naomi in this title picture, you better put Bianca Belair. Put somebody fresh. A lot of people still want this Sasha and Bayley match. I'm not too intrigued with this match as much anymore. I mean, if they have it, they have it. If they don't, they don't. I saw this match live at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, the first one. I saw it already. So if they don't do this match on the main roster, I'm totally fine with it. I seen it live. I seen the title change hands. It was a great match. It was their best match. So, if Nia Jax do return tonight, I guess, hey, Nia Jax is back. Something fresh for now, because Nia Jax hasn't been. When's the last time Nia Jax has been in WWE? I think it was around WrestleMania time last year, because she had to get both her knees surgically repaired, I do believe. So, yeah. But anyway, Nia Jax is clear, so don't be surprised if she shows up tonight. What else we got? So I talked about that. Yeah. Yeah. That's about it for like all the crucial stuff. Like, I talked about Gronk. Another thing, man. If I didn't mention this, shout out to my baby for mentioning this. She was like, yo, you should talk about that book that you read. So, AJ Lee, she had this book out for years. I think it's like Crazy is My Superpower, something like that. But I always wanted this book because everybody knows AJ Lee. Everybody knows me. AJ Lee's one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time. She's in my top 5. She's in my top 5. She's probably in my top 3. If I just go down all the women's wrestlers, I love AJ Lee. Always a fan of hers. I just connected with her. But she has this book, and I finally got a chance to read it at Barnes and Nobles, and I just sat there and I read it for about an hour and change, and I was just hooked to this book, man. Definitely gonna make the purchase. I'm definitely gonna read that book, but I'm definitely gonna do that. AJ Lee has a great book. If y'all haven't read that book, and this is me coming from a person that can't stand reading, it's definitely a great book. Go scoop that up, man. That was just a great thing. Another thing, before I sign off, right? So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna be honest with y'all right about now. After next week's show, I might have to move the timing of the show or move the date because I'm starting a new job. So that is gonna interfere and conflict with this particular time slot. So I have to figure out another day or another time where I can do the show. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take another week or 2 off after next week's show. But before I do this, I mentioned this to this particular person, right? Because me and her were supposed to do this show a while ago. I was supposed to have her on a while ago. And, if this show is supposed to go on a hiatus for maybe about a week or 2, I want to at least have her on, right? Because she was supposed to be my co-host on the show. So, next week, your boy is having his first guest / co-host. And this is somebody who's always supported my show. She watches every week. So Shayna, I am calling you out. Okay, we discussed this already. Next week's show should be interesting. Should be a fun one. She is one of the most passionate wrestling fans I've ever met. Okay, she goes hard for the people that she believes in. So Shayna, if we do this show next week, it's going to be one hell of one for the ages, and maybe that'll open up something in the future as far as the show, but we just going to start up with next week. Hopefully we can actually do it. Hopefully this can, we can go crazy, get amplified on the show, banter back and forth, because I want to go back and forth. I want to go back and forth. That's what I want to do, okay? That's what I want to do. I don't want you to hold back. If you come on next week, I don't want you to hold back. I don't care if it's my show, like my show, my name is on it. Don't hold back. That's all I ask. Do not hold back next week. That's all I ask. So anyway, yes, if it happens next week, I will be having my first guest / co-host. That is my friend Shayna. So, this is the Wildkat Wrestling Wrap-Up with your boy, the Wildkat J. Troy. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, got in the chat. Shout out to everybody who continues to show the show some love every week. And I appreciate you guys every week for taking your time to just listen through the app, watch on YouTube, showing brother some love, man. I always appreciate y'all for that. So, I'm going to leave y'all off with a song. And, yeah, so that's it for the wrap-up. See y'all guys next week. We out. This is Aaron Knight. Big money.
Able to plug. Able to plug.
Hey, I swear firms and rents pattern this.
I got big money, boy, I got guap. I ain't wait for no hoe or no thigh. Niggas run up on me, he getting shot. Niggas run up on me, he getting popped. I'm a big money nigga. Blow the bag on the bitch. I'm a big money nigga. Blow the bag on the bitch. I ain't tryna flex, I'm just tryna maintain. I know mad pussy niggas screaming gang gang, but don't get it twisted, my nigga, we not the same. Fuck a Uber, I just had my bitch drop the range. All white, windows tinted, that's how I play. I'm a Queens nigga, but I'm good in LA. Shorty meet the kid, she tell her friends that I'm gay. I eat the box so good, she think that I'm gay. I be making boss moves, bring the cameras out. Levels to the shit, you ain't fucking with me now. Treat you like a dog, I might have to put you down. Always had the drip, I was never in a drought. I got big money, boy, I got guap. I ain't wait for no hoe or no thigh. Niggas run up on me, he getting shot. Niggas run up on me, he getting popped. I'm a big money nigga. Blow the bag on the bitch. I'm a big money nigga. Blow the bag on the bitch. Congratulations, these niggas hate, had to work my way up from the basement. If you see me with some hitters, that's my day ones. No new friends, I just got the same ones. I got a new bitch, I think she stupid. The way she put it on me, I swear that pussy ruthless. The way she give me brain, I thought that bitch was toothless. Had to knock a nigga out and now he toothless. They know about me in my city, I'm the man. Got $100,000 in my hand. What you need? I got work, I got grams. I fuck a bitch, I take away all her cramps. I got big money, boy, I got